Well, I'm back on the farm in Cumbria, and I'm going to apply some Obsidian wax to the top of this car. In fact, the beading that you can see on it at the moment, part of it I've wiped away. That's actually the beading from the first coat that I applied yesterday. Now normally, when we're waxing, we have a pad in one hand and the wax pot in the other, and of course one meets the other. However, with the Obsidian wax that would be rather a big mistake, because you actually need so little of the wax that you have to find a different way of applying it. And what I do is I actually use some NGPS, which is a nanogloss paint sealant from ADS, and I just spray a little of that. It's actually diluted at 3:1, and I spray some of that into my wax pad. Notice that I've got a pad with bumpy edges, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the wax pot, and all I'm going to do is to dip my finger in, and I'm going to pick up enough wax on my finger, basically enough to cover the bowl of a teaspoon. And all I'm going to do then is just gently swipe this across the face of the pad, and then I'm going to squeeze it in and just keep working it into the pad until virtually all the traces of wax have gone. The other thing about waxing with this is that you don't actually need to do any rubbing. The easiest way to apply this wax is very light, brisk strokes, and you can go just in one direction. I'm doing that basically to get rid of some of the water, and you might think, well, there's all that water, surely there's no wax reaching the paint. Well, actually there is, and I'll just squeeze out the excess, and I'll come back again very quickly, very light, brisk strokes, and I can now wipe that off, and the slickness that you feel is just unbelievable. There's no effort involved in that at all. Now, you might think that having waxed one side, normally you go straight back to your pot and replenish with wax. I'm just going to take some of the water off the top of it here. You can see just how well the surface absolutely rejects the water. Well, what I'm going to do now is just continue waxing where I left off. No pressure on the pad whatever. Just take this, squeeze out the excess water, just make sure there's just one other thing that I haven't mentioned, and that is that you may have noticed that I go straight in with the buffing. There's no having to wait. You can in fact buff straight off. secondly, with the wax, the one thing that you want to do is to ensure that you can actually keep it very dry for at least a few hours after application. Well, this wax also breaks all those rules, so if it rains you have no need to worry. You can in fact throw water onto this warner straight away and it will just reject it like no other wax you've seen. Impressed? Well, I think yes, no question.